Oh, you're doing yoga, you do? Really? I couldn't do that. I listen to music. I put music on when I do yoga.
No, but
Because you just do the same routine like when you're at home. Like you just do your
I also I don't want to be silent. I don't want
Yeah, no, I think I can use it.
because I am alone myself. I can't stand that. I need
Yes. I have to
I need somebody's friends.
yeah, I really read.
No, I can my routine my own. Yeah. And also, it's not so relevant. It's a podcast. So yeah. And I need just the business so what happens? Right.
So bad interrupting everyone. Everyone's having such a lovely. I know. Yoga. I know. That's fine. That's fine. Bad interrupting. All right, guys. I guess we should do yoga. We should just like you're like let's just talk and do yoga. Like let's just do it. Let's just do it. Well, you were just staying at home to listen to a podcast or a blog post. She's doing yoga, so like let's just chat and just start doing it together. Yeah,
Be told what
to do. I know. I always share that story. I was once in a while I go to a class. I used to go to Roger's class down the street from me and Ramsey when he was still around. Like I mean, whatever, not for many years, but his thing was like he would start class and say, "What? Anybody have any requests?" And I'd be like, yeah, my request is I don't want to think about yoga. I'm coming here so I don't have to think about it. I want you to think about it. I need a minute of not thinking about yoga. So please, you just tell me what to do.
just tell me
what to do. I don't want to think about it. Okay. All right, girls. I mean, I don't know. Maybe we should do like a yoga happy hour where we just like get in a circle and we just like just yoga and we just talk and hang out. I don't know. That might be fun. But not today. But not today. Not today.
every day is yoga happy.
Well, I mean, yeah, but you know, like I don't know, maybe it's a thing, right? Thought. But then you do have to think about what to do. So there's that. All right, so we're making our way through these kleshas, these the obstacles to our yoga. And when we're talking about, you know, what is yoga? Like when we're saying the obstacle to yoga, when we're saying so what is yoga in that context? You know, what we're talking about these ideas come from the Yoga Sutras, the ancient text written by Patanjali, who might have been one dude or maybe several dudes, no one's really sure. But the second sutra of the Yoga Sutras says, well, yoga is the stilling of the mind. That's it. So it's like, if you can do that, right, you're done. You did yoga. You know, you can be there, that's it. And then the whole rest of the book is like, okay, but if you can't, here's some things you can try. But literally, that's how the book is written. It's like, this is yoga, so yeah, you do that, great, you're done. You did it. So in explaining how to do those things, it's also explaining the stuff that gets in the way of that, you know. And so these kleshas that we've been talking about these last few weeks are one of the things that, or 5 of the things that get in the way. So we're up to, really this is the first one, and they say that this avidya, which means ignorance or not knowing. It's like we don't know what we don't know, you know, but it's like spiritual ignorance. None of us wants to think we're ignorant. I definitely don't. But it's like spiritual ignorance, meaning like we forget that the true self. And so the sutra, it's from chapter 2. It says, about avidya, innocence of our divine nature encourages identification with the ever-changing rather than with the inner stillness of the heart. When undue trust is placed in the individual self, it is confused with the divine self. So it's this idea of confusing our pure consciousness, our absolute consciousness, with our sort of ordinary consciousness, which is filled with the fluctuations that are supposed to stop when we do yoga. So that's all well and good to think about how we're doing that, but when we identify, and so it's said that this klesha is the root of all the other kleshas. Because if we forget that and we think that we are just our thoughts and our feelings, right, then the ego comes into it, and I am, and I need, and I want stuff. And then the attachments come in. This makes me feel good. I want that. This does aversions. This doesn't make me feel good. I don't want that thing, right? So much like the Yoga Sutras is this sort of, explanation of like, okay, how you do that first thing that we talk about. It's the same. Like if you can do this first thing, like remember your connection to source, remember your divine soul, your spirit, then you don't have to think about the other ones. They don't happen because you're not identifying, right, with the ego and with what the ego needs and wants, and that sort of narrative that starts. So the idea, well, one way to think about this, David White writes about the what does he call it? The audacity. I'm calling it the audacity of being. David White calls it the arrogance of belonging. And it's this idea that it's not about, that loving yourself. I'll read what he says. Loving yourself doesn't mean behaving like a princess or acting as though the world owes you anything. Loving yourself simply means believing that you are allowed to be here, and believing that merely by being here, just because you exist, you are allowed to have a voice and a vision of your own. So one way to work on how to kind of combat this avidya, that's this obstacle that we have in our lives, is to cultivate that arrogance of belonging, that says, I am deserving of joy. I am deserving of love. I am deserving of happiness. I am deserving of plug in your thing, I am deserving of those things, not because of anything I do, not because of the things that I, the roles that I play, the labels that I have, that whatever, simply because I am. Because we have come into being with our own particular ways of being for a reason, right? The Creator created each of us for the ways that He created each of us. And when we forget that, when we forget that part of ourselves, and we start to identify with, the labels and the roles and the surface level stuff, then it takes us out of ourselves, and when we can actually just love ourselves just for being ourselves, not for the actions and the stuff that we're doing, we move out of that cycle of of self-hatred, of the ways that we beat ourselves up, the ways that we think we're not good enough, the ways that we think we're unworthy. And in this way, it actually moves us towards connection. It's not, we move into this audacity of being, not by saying, oh, I'm the best in the world, but just by saying, I am. Not thinking that we're better than anyone, just I am. And just because I am means I am entitled to be here. I am entitled to, to be fabulous and wonderful. And, the small ego says, stuff happens, and the small ego says, why me, or how, who am I to be? And the true self says, well, who are you not to be? No, you are. And you don't need anything that comes after that. That's the whole thing. So in a way, it's a sort of a stripping down, right? But it's also a stripping down of our self-doubt and our self-hatred and our self-judgment, and this sort of crushing sense of self-protection that the ego really has to hold on to. So my invitation to you this morning, as always, is to just step into that arrogance of belonging, that says I am, and it's an entitlement, not in the way that we think of entitlement, right? It's like a shift of what that means. I am entitled to be. All right, close your eyes. Yoga is stillness of mind, it's stillness of body, It's stillness of breath. And so the lovely thing about yoga is that, we have all this sort of myriad ways we can come at it to cultivate the stillness. It feels easy to still the mind, start there. If it feels easy to steady your body, start there. It feels easier to settle your breath, start there. And then just feel how each of those influences the other. And when everything gets a little quieter, how we can have this sense of self that is beyond the labels that we put on ourselves, beyond our doubts, beyond our successes and failures. That just is. That is the audacious spirit living inside of your body, seeing through your eyes. Bring your hands together at your heart. Because we embody this divine presence, we are creators and we can be creators. We forget that. So part of setting intention at the start of practice, part of chanting, is just reminding ourselves that we can be the creator, the shaper of our own story, the architecture of our own, the architect of our own consciousness. Take a moment, set your intention, and then let's chant together. Bow your head. And release your hand. Open your eyes. All right, we're going to stay seated. So, haven't already. Switch the cross of your legs. And then bring your right hand over to the right. So, just rest your right hand and just start some circles with your left arm. Yeah, stagger with your neighbor. And if you get, midair high five, just high five. All right. Start to bring a little cat and cow into it so that your whole upper body move a little more. Finding a big reach, a bigger reach through the arm. Good. If you haven't already, change direction, move the other way. And the next time the arm comes up by your ear, just hold here and then go to a twist. So tap your left hand over to the right and then inhale and twist open to the left. And then exhale and tap down to the right. Inhale, twist open. One more time, just follow your left hand with your eyes. You're getting a little movement through your neck also. Good, hold here for a moment. Move your right shoulder back, your left shoulder back, your head back a little bit. Good, and then come on up. Just come to center. Pause. Walk the left hand over as you're ready. Circle your right arm. Start small. Our physical practice, we start with these small little movements, and get bigger. The whole practice has that arc also, you know, we start and we're so conscious of our bodies and the aches and the pains and the stiffness and the, you know, the cold, got the winter hamstrings, winter shoulders. All right, go the other way, circle the other way. And as we move into the practice, we move into the bigger parts of ourselves, the deeper parts of ourselves. It takes this awareness to do that. Next time your arm is by your ear, stay there, lean to the left. Good, exhale, twist, tap down, inhale, twist up. And just like that. And that's really what all these cliches are. They're just these practices of self-awareness. You know, how am I identifying with the smaller parts of myself? Hold here with the arm up. Look up, lean your back a little bit. Good. Inhale and come on up. All right, come on out into tabletop. That's the whole practice. It's this practice of self-study, of self-awareness that leads to self-knowledge. That leads to the ways that we understand our bodies, our minds, our thoughts, all of those things. And then we're much deeper than all that. All right, just some cat and cow in your tabletop. And maybe take particular attention or moments to pay attention to the top of the breath, the bottom of the breath, those little gentle pauses that happen naturally. Maybe even hold there for a moment, finding a moment of stillness, especially if your breath or your mind seem particularly agitated or busy today. All right, we're going to keep going with the cat and cow, but we're going to add on a little shoulder stretch. Take your right hand across the top of your mat. Go on, put your pinky finger down, thumb up, and just put your arm in a more neutral, shoulder in a neutral position. Good. And then push your pinky finger down, straighten your elbow, and now continue with your cat and cow. You can do this with your left elbow off the floor, or you can go down onto the left elbow if that feels more comfortable for you. It sort of depends on how tight your shoulders are and how long your arms are. But this is you want to feel some movement happening underneath your left shoulder blade. One more cat and cow. Okay, good. And then bring your right hand underneath your right shoulder. Take your, no, to the other side. To the other side. Pinky finger on the floor. Good. And cat and cow here. Yeah. You're really pushing down your finger. Your left arm is straight. Again, you can be on the right elbow. Maybe you want to do a couple up high with the elbow off the floor. Maybe a couple with the right elbow on the floor. See what feels better. It's giving you deeper opening. Last one. Good. Bring that hand back underneath the shoulder, back into your tabletop. Then extend your right leg back behind. Just do a little half stretch, pulse forward and back a couple times. You can take it into a wrist stretch as well. If you want to take a little stretch for your forearms, really pushing your finger pads down if that bothers your wrist. Just keep your weight back a little more. Good, then shoulders over, wrist, lift your toes up off the floor, bend your knee, and then just start some circles with your knee. So again, we can start small. We start by starting to practice with this sort of over-identification with how my body feels. What is my mood today? What's my, how am I existing in the world today? The other way. And then hopefully as we practice, we connect into the stillness, we connect into moving with breath. All of that quiets down a little. We access these deeper parts. All right, step that foot all the way up outside your hand. So a wide lunge, right foot outside the right hand. That's it. Yep. So into a lunge, John. Just step your foot all the way up outside your right hand. So you're in a lunge. Yeah, like that. And then circle your hips. So we were circling a hand in the air, and then a knee in the air, and now a butt in the air. Same thing. Let it get bigger. Wider. Send your hips way out to the side. Let your front knee bend. Change the direction. Good. And then extend your weight is forward. You can heel toe in a little closer if that would be more comfortable. And then keep your right knee squeezing in towards your right arm. Walk your arms out in front. So it's sort of like a lizard lunge, but it's like an extended lizard lunge. Keep a little resistance in your left thigh bone. So left thigh bone pulls back gently as you walk your hands forward. Press your inner thighs and your sit bones wide. So you're broadening through your pelvis. So there's a release around the base of your spine, your sacrum. And then maybe stretch your spine, your arms a little bit straighter. We can walk them out a little farther. All right, good. And then walk your hands back under your shoulders and swing your right leg back. Take your left foot behind you, toes tucked. And again, a little pulse forward and back. Be aware of keeping the weight pressing evenly through the heel. You're going to want to sort of collapse to the pinky side, right? So keep some weight on the big toe side of your foot. Keeps the whole inner lining of the leg a little more weak. All right, then shoulders over wrists. Lift your toes up and circle your knee. Big sweeping movements. So our physical practice of yoga becomes this expression of how we're feeling about ourselves. Go around the other way. You know, so that when we come into class, we're feeling sad. The movements can feel really heavy, right? Slow. If you're angry, your practice can feel like really aggressive and forceful. Good, step that foot all the way up. And circle hips. We're feeling jealous. Get that sort of burning, that like distraction that happens. Where we're running that narrative and that story over and over again. So we just become aware of it. And then we remember that we can be more than that. And remember the intention we set. Go around the other way. And then the movements that we're doing in the body, the poses, take on the shape of that consciousness. In ways that are more beautiful, more compassionate, more majestic even. All right, heel toe the left foot in a little bit. Come to that extended position, arms way out in front. Resist your right thigh bone back and wide to the right. Widen your left thigh bone out to the left. Feel a release in your pelvis around your spine. Creep your hands forward. Then walk your hands back in and find your way into downward facing dog. Yeah, take a moment for your dog warm-ups that you like to do. Because here's the thing, it's not just ignoring those things. You know, self-love can also be loving our bodies. Self-love can also be, you know, honoring our bodies as the container, the vehicle for this higher consciousness. There are some schools of yoga that say, you know, no, forget about the body. The body's the problem. Tantra doesn't say that. It says, how are we going to strengthen this body? How are we going to move this body in a way that supports and elevates the higher side. Inhale, come on up. Set your shoulder blades onto your back. Legs steady and strong. Like a hug, create a hug, a self-embrace. Hug your muscles to your bones, your arm muscles to your arms, your shoulder blades onto your back, your leg muscles to the leg bones. Good, we're gonna come all the way down to the belly, however you wanna get there. And then roll over to your right side. Rest your head on your right arm, bend up your knees. Have your left hand on the floor in front of you. That's just gonna keep you in the side plane. And then you're gonna lift up your top knee, keeping your feet together. Lift your left knee as high as you can. And then squeeze your legs together like a clamshell. Inhale, lift that top knee. Exhale, knees squeeze together. Your knees could be really bent for this. Yeah, lift the top leg, top knee, I should say, and then knees together. Feet stay together the whole time. So nope, bottom foot stays on the floor and top knee lifts up. Bottom foot stays down, you're just opening like a clamshell. Open the top knee and then squeeze together. That's it, jump together. One more. Lift and lower down. Okay, good. Now straighten out your top leg. Switch your hand. So hold the back of your head with your left hand. Wrap your right arm onto your right waistline. So underneath you, onto your left waistline. Sorry. So right arm is underneath on your left waistline. Left hand is supporting your head. Switch your hands in. That's it. Got it. Good. And then as you exhale now, lift up your left leg and lift your armpit towards your hip. Good. And then lower down. And then lift. And as you're lifting, keep your toes pointing forward or even down a little bit. Don't let your toes turn up towards the ceiling. It's not wrong. It's just I want you to get the work in the hip and not in the glutes, not in your thigh. Yeah, beautiful guys. You got it. Just like that. So you're trying to lift your head off the floor as you're lifting your leg. You're not going to get your right shoulder off the floor, but it might get a little bit lighter. Yep. Do two more. Lift. Good. Keep your head back into your hand. Don't pull on your neck. Last one. Squeeze up and lower down. Okay, good. Now switch arms again. Rest your head on your right arm. Step your left foot in front of your right leg. Straighten out your right leg. So top knee is bent, foot on the floor. Left leg, yep, crossed in front. Good. And then we're going to lift and lower the bottom leg. Lift and squeeze and lower down. And lift. Feel your inner thighs fire up. And then press that foot into the floor. And then lift, squeeze the inner thighs together, tap it down. Yep, like that. Lift as high as you can. It's probably not going to go super high. Yep, we got it. Last one. Squeeze up. Okay, good. Now rebend your knees. Come up onto your right elbow. Good. Now notice the body wants to sort of collapse towards the floor. So push into the floor so that your right waistline is lifting away from the floor. Roll a little towards your back. Take your left hand behind your head, and then lift your feet off the floor. Good. And then tap left elbow towards the left knee. And then tap your feet back down. And then left elbow to left knee and tap back down. Good. If you want to make it a little harder, try to tap your left elbow to your right knee, but don't go too crazy. Exhale to squeeze in and tap. Inhale to lower your feet down. 3 to go. Yep, last 2. And last one. Okay, good. All right, over to the other side. Swing your legs around. Rest your head on your left arm. You can always put a blanket under your head if that would feel more comfortable for you. The arm under the head is not comfortable. We're going to start with clamshells. Right hand on the floor in front, so you're not rolling towards your back, and then feet together, knee up, lift, and then squeeze together. And then lift the knee and squeeze together. Good. Couple more. Try to lift the knee a little higher each time without rolling towards your back. So the knee is lifting as high as you can. You're feeling the muscles in the outer hip, the glutes toning. Last one. Good. Bring that knee down. Okay, straighten out your top leg. Extend it. You can rest the foot on the floor for a moment. Then switch your arms. Left arm goes under, hand onto your right waist, right hand behind your head. You got it. And then as you exhale, lift the legs straight up. And as you inhale, lower down. Be mindful of not pulling forward like chin to chest. So you might not lift as high, that's okay. You want to stay in the side plane. Like imagine you're in like the skinniest room. There's a wall in front of you, a wall behind you. You're trying to keep your whole body in between, including your head. So you're not pulling your head forward. And you're lifting that leg as high as you can without turning your toes to the ceiling. You're going to feel that more in your butt than in your thigh. That's what we're going for. Last two, lift and release. And last one, lift and release. Okay, good. Switch your arms again. Step your right foot to the floor. Front, straighten your left leg. Good. And then squeeze up the bottom leg. And lower down. Yeah, you can have the knee on the floor if that's more comfortable. You have the foot or the knee down. Your right foot or your right. Either way. Squeeze up the bottom leg. And release it back down. Good. Lift and squeeze the inner thighs. Tap it down. Few to go. As you feel your inner thighs fire up and you make that connection, all of these exercises are sort of forcing us into making a connection into the midline, and maybe you can feel that as the somatic, a physical experience of connecting into the place of stillness and center inside yourself. Last lift, squeeze up and tap down. Okay, come up onto your left elbow. Your elbow right under your shoulder, can be a little out in front. But then push your elbow down into the floor. So you're not collapsing your waist, your ribs towards the floor. You're on your hip and your elbow. Take your right hand behind your head. Lift your feet. Squeeze, top, elbow to knee. And then tap down. Toes down. Tap. Right elbow, right knee. Tap down. Again, you want to challenge yourself a little. Try to go right elbow to left knee. But keep it where it's reasonable. You can lift both legs. If you can just lift the top one, just lift the top one, that's fine. Exhale, tap. Elbow, knee. Inhale, tap down. Last two, tap. And tap down. And last one. And tap down. Okay, good. Roll back to your belly. Slide your hands under your shoulders. And just take a moment to really prepare your cobra here. So make your legs strong, tone your glutes, draw your tailbone, your pubic bone down. And then as you inhale, lengthen out of your pelvis, curl up. Focus on lifting your shoulders, squeezing your elbows in. Neck nice and long. And then if you want to take it a little deeper, just ease up into it, keeping your shoulders back and your neck long. Nice, you guys. Exhale back, downward facing dog. Find your way to Uttanasana at the front of your mat, forward bend. Walk, hop, jump, crawl, however you want to get there. Take a moment to steady your legs, to just let your upper body sort of spill out of your pelvis. That we set our foundation, we steady ourselves where we are, and we give ourselves over to the God consciousness, to the true self, to the absolute consciousness, not our ordinary consciousness. Lengthen your spine, come on up, reach up. Exhale and sweep your hands behind your back. Lace your fingers together. Stretch your arms straight back behind you. Lift up through your breastbone, broaden your collarbones. Lift your hands a little higher behind you. Good. Exhale, hinge at your hips, fold over. Hands towards the ceiling, head towards the floor. Good. Inhale, bend your knees, look forward. Reach your hands back. Rest your belly on your thighs for a moment. Sit a little deeper. That's it. And then straighten your legs. Arms towards the sky. Head towards your knees. Hips towards the sky.
One more time, bend and reach back with your hands. Straighten your arms, reach back, 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 back. Send your hips back. Good, exhale and fold over. Hold one more breath here. And then exhale, release your hands down and walk yourself back into downward facing dog. If you want to take a vinyasa here, go for it. If you want to just hold and breathe, stay right where you are. All right, let's take dog split, right leg up. Again, yogi's choice here. What split feels like the right one? We've got hips level and legs straight. We've got hips level and knee bent. We've got hips stacked and legs straight, hips stacked and leg bent. So many variations. The left elbow can be up or down. Just take the moment to value yourself, affirm your own self-worth by doing what feels like the right thing. So when we do that, we affirm the entire universe. Inhale, step your foot all the way up between your hands, come up into warrior two. That's it. Move the top of your left thigh bone back a little bit as you strengthen and firm that leg a lot, and then scoop your right sit bone under and sit a little deeper to your right knee, pressing your right knee a little wider. Good, lengthen your spine a little taller, stretch your arms and fingers a little straighter. And then just hold, nothing else to do. Nowhere else to go. Not a super flashy, complicated pose. Can we just be here and get bigger, fuller, brighter, just as we are? That arrogance of being, of belonging. All right, warrior dog. Keep your legs. Hands to the floor, inside your foot. Press your right knee out wide. Walk your hands on a diagonal up to the upper left corner. Push your hips back. You should almost be able to take your hands off the floor, which stay in your feet here. Then you'll get a deeper hip opener if the weight stays in the feet a little more. Yeah, good work, you guys. That's it. Try to keep the right toes pointing straight ahead. They're going to want to turn towards your hands. You're going to get a deeper hip stretch if you keep the toes pointing straight ahead. Okay, from here, walk, frame your front foot with your hands. Lift your back heel. Drop your back knee down. Good, and then lizard. Down to elbows. And again, yogi's choice. Lots of ways to do this pose. Your toes can stay straight ahead. They can turn out. That's really about how your knee is feeling. Your toes should be spreading and active a little to keep the muscles underneath the knee a little active. The foot can stay on the floor, your left foot, or you can drop the knee to the side. Your back toes can be tucked or untucked. Again, it's this practice of just self-awareness, self-study. We can do that at all the layers. Your body needs more stilling today, focus your body. Everything will follow. Your mind needs more stilling today, focus there. Your breath needs more stilling, focus there. One more breath, where you are. Okay, good. Lift back up into your hands. Frame your front foot. Lift your back knee up. That's it. Yeah, just so that you feel balanced, we're going to take the hands up. So squeeze your legs in towards each other. Do that embrace, the self-love of hugging in towards the midline, in towards the true self. Lift your arms up into your high lunge. Get your left leg really straight. Push back through your left thigh. Sit a little deeper into your right knee. Okay, now we're going to keep the legs. We're going to reach forward. We did this with the knee on the floor. Reach way forward. And then try to dive your right arm underneath your right leg. Inside. You need to take a hand to the floor, take a hand to the floor. If you can do it hands-free, do it hands-free. Squeeze the knee to the arm. Push the arm out into the knee. Extend your spine forward. Take one more breath. Good. And then release your hands. And step back into downward facing dog. Good. You need a rest, take a rest. Want to move? Move.
All right, dog split, yogi's choice. Left leg up. I would advise doing whatever you did on the first side here on the second side, just so we're creating balance in the body, because
That's important. Just become the embodiment of being, not of doing. The embodiment of the true self. What does that look like? How does that feel? Good. Step all the way up. Warrior two.
that's it. Line yourself up. So feet lined up, back leg strong, right thigh bone back, left sit bone scooping under, left thigh more parallel to the floor. Notice how that back hip wants to sort of cock forward a little bit. So pull it back. Don't let it pop forward. And want the hips to be lined up. And then just sit and be and breathe. And find those moments of stillness. One more breath. Cartwheel your hands down, warrior dog. Keep your legs. And reach towards the upper left, right corner. And here's the thing, this state of stillness, this yoga, it's probably not a continuous state, it's not for me. But we get these glimpses, we get these moments of it. We get these tastes of it. And when we're there, we savor it. We let ourselves be there. We're not rushing off to the next thing. We're not rushing off to make the next thing happen. All right, walk your hands under your shoulders, back heel up, back knee down. I guess you could keep the back knee up, but we didn't do that on the first side. So back knee down, and then lizard, second side, elbows to the floor or to blocks. You want your elbows onto something. So if the floor is too far, just grab the blocks. Take elbows onto blocks. That's it. And then whatever you did on the first side, mirror that here. Okay, where do we go from here? Okay, walk your hands in, back knee up off the floor. I'll turn around. Good. And then we're gonna squeeze the legs and come up. Take your time, find your balance, find your stillness, find your steadiness. Hold where you are for a breath. Okay, good. Then we're gonna try to dive under. So reach forward, sit into that front knee, sweep your left arm under. Again, if you need a hand to the floor, use a hand on the floor, totally fine. Squeeze leg to arm to leg. One more breath. Good, and then hands to the floor and step back. Downward facing dog. Good. Vinyasa opportunity here. Flow through or rest as needed. Then make your way to the front of your mat, Uttanasana. Take a deeper forward bend. Like we let the circles, the knees, the hips, the butts get bigger, the shoulders at the start of practice. Now we let the fold get a little deeper as the hamstrings feel a little looser. All right, lengthen your spine. Come on up. Reach up. Exhale, let your arms float down by your sides. Okay, we're going to do a standing hip stretch. So this one, if you need to go by a wall or by a post, if you need some extra balance, take yourself to a place that will help you do that. All right, bend both knees. Take your hips back, squeeze your legs in towards each other. All right, then balance on your left foot, cross your right ankle over your left knee. Poke your hips way back. Good, spread the toes of your right foot. Carol, take your right knee out to the right more, so your knee is more open to the side. Yeah, like slide more ankle over knee. Yeah, there you go. There you go. Sit back, push your hips back, widen them out. You can go elbows down onto the shin. You can go elbows in front of the shin. You can go hands to the floor. Wherever you are. Be steady in your breath. Be steady in your body. Be steady in your mind. You need to just focus on one. Focus on one. It's going to fix all the other ones. Or at least help. All right, one more breath. Inhale, come on up. Uncross. Good, land to both feet, just steady in your breath for a moment. Poke your hips down. Weight to the other foot. My left ankle on foot. Yeah, left ankle over. Flex your foot, spread your toes. Take a moment to just settle. Find your moment of balance. Maybe forearms to the shin, whatever you did on the first side. Try to mirror that here. So we're opening chin equally, evenly. And as you settle into the pose, it's like we settle into this gentle state of self-awareness. We're not checking out. We're not letting the mind wander. We're still here. Not avoiding as sensation builds. We're here, noticing. We still the breath a little more. We settle the mind a little more. Just be. On up. And uncross. All right, good. Yeah, take a little march out. We're going to come into eagle. So if you want to stay by the wall for balance, stay by the wall for balance. If you need to move to the wall for balance, move to the wall. All right, arms out to the sides. Step your feet hip bone distance, a little closer. Take your arms out to the sides. Yeah, and then get wide through your, so if you're using the wall, you're probably going to want your butt to the wall. So I would have your back to the wall. Yeah, if you're using the wall. That's going to be the easier way to do it. Yeah, so arms nice and wide. Lift up through your chest, your collarbones just get big. On the inside, get bigger. Let that inner sense of belonging, of being, get bigger. Good. Then wrap your right arm over your left arm. Hug yourself. Literally hug yourself. Walk your hands closer to your shoulder blades behind you. See if you can get your hands to the inside edges of your shoulder blades, like that far in. Okay, good. Now, if your shoulders are tight, stay here. If you want to come into eagle arms, lift your hands, wrap your arms. If hugging is a better way to do it, do that. Stretch your fingers towards the ceiling, lift your elbows up a little bit. Good, now bend your knees, poke your hips back. Take your weight to your right foot. Cross your left leg over. Hover your toes or hook your toes or however you do your eagle. However you can settle into that, the audacity of just being. No lack of self-worth, no lack of self-love or compassion based on what's happening in the body. Just here, breathing, steady. Good, inhale, come up and around. Let the arms split out. Roll out your shoulders. And then sweep your arms out wide again. And just get big. Get big on the inside. Feel your indomitable spirit filling up your body. Okay, somebody say which arm goes on top. Left, right? Left arm on top. Hug yourself. Hug yourself with love. With absolute just sense of cherishing the preciousness of your own being. And then stay here or wrap up into eagle arms. Send your hips back. Shift your weight to your left foot. Cross your right leg over. Hover your toes or hook, however you eagle. Do your eagle. Squeeze your legs. Squeeze your arms. Steady your breath, steady your body, steady your mind, all those. It's hard to do all at once, just focus on one. One more breath here. Good. Inhale. Come on. Great. Come back to your mat. If you're gone to the wall, come to your back or come lay down. Of course, you can always do the hands-free lower if that's a option for your knees and hips. You can always go hands-free, lower down nice and slow, get a little extra ab work. All right, share blocks around. Everybody should be able to have a block. If you have two, share with a neighbor. There should be enough around the room. You just need one for right now. Anybody need a block? Good? All right. We're going to do a block between the inner thighs for a little core
work and just making this midline connection. So as we squeeze the block, we feel the inner thighs come on board. Lift your feet off the floor, knees over hips. Yeah. You could do this with knees bent, or if you want, you can straighten your legs, stretch your feet up towards the ceiling. Hands behind your head. And then we're going to squeeze everything off the floor. So squeeze the block, lift your hips, lift your shoulders. And then inhale and release hips and shoulders back down. And exhale, squeeze up. And inhale and release back down. And just like that, squeezing up. If you were here last week, remember we did this with a ball between the chin and chest to keep that space, keep the neck in alignment, and keep the movement in the abdominals. So try to imagine you still got that ball there. So as you're squeezing hips and shoulders up, you're not collapsing the back of your neck. 2 more pulses up. Yes. Last one. Okay. Does that feel like self-love? I hope it does. All right. Let's set your block to the side. Not sure it does, but maybe a little bit. Hopefully. You know, here's the thing. Like I'd say 50% of the time, you know, when stuff is going on in the body, the answer is the core. So just the core is self-love, working on the core, even though it might feel like that. Okay, knees bent, feet on the floor. We're gonna hold the right foot. So keep your left foot on the floor and hold your right foot with both hands for half happy baby. So hold the, one hand on the inner edge of the foot, one hand on the outer edge, and then draw your right knee out to the right towards your right armpit and towards the floor, but try to keep your left hip on the floor at the same time. So keep your, instead of rolling to the right, I mean, if you roll to the right, it's okay, nothing awful is gonna happen, but if you keep that left hip down, you're gonna get more opening into the right hip. Yeah. Now keep pulling that right knee towards the floor, towards your armpit, and then straighten your left leg. Push your left thigh going down towards the floor. It's not gonna go down, but it's gonna go closer. Yeah. 2 more breaths here. Knee to armpit, left thigh to floor. 1 more breath. Good. And then release that foot, bend both knees, just pause, find center. Lift up your left foot, catch it. Half happy baby, knee to armpit. Again, trying to keep the right hip down as you're pulling your left knee out to the left. Then extend your right leg. Left knee towards the floor, outside the armpit. Right thigh bone towards the floor, right leg extending out long. 1 more breath. Yeah, heel over knee, knee to armpit. Yes. All right. Good. Let that go. All right. Find your way to downward facing dog. And then take your feet a little wider in your dog pose and walk yourself back into a squat. As you can land in a high squat if your knees are better up here. If you can take it into the lower squat, of course. Come into the lower squat. Let your tailbone drop towards the floor. Squeeze your legs in, but widen your sit bones at the same time. So the lower legs hug in, the upper inner thighs wide. Lift your breastbone. Lengthen your neck. 1 more breath. Go to Uttanasana, fold over. All right. And come on all the way up. Reach and stretch out. Exhale. Release your arms. Okay, we're going to go into bound. We're going to come into bound Parsvakonasana into bound Trikonasana, triangle pose. So that's this. Most of you know where we're going, but part of the shoulder under the leg. I do that self-love, self-hug, right? So think of this as a hug. You're hugging yourself, embracing yourself, not for who you are, not the labels, but that deepest part of yourself. Here's the pose, and then we work towards straightening. So if that's a challenge for shoulders or hips, use a strap. And the thing with the strap, I just want you to think about either way, either holding the hand. You don't want to be between the legs here. right? Not because that's wrong, just because it's not really doing anything for you, right? You want to be around your leg. So even if you have to use a strap to get around the leg, you're going to get a deeper stretch for the hip and the shoulder if you're doing it that way. All right, so let's do the right side first. Step wide. Turn your right foot out. Bend your knee into warrior two. Yeah, if you're using the strap, sorry, I should have said it. Your strap is going to be in your left hand, so you can sort of hand it to yourself behind you. So if you're using a strap, hold the strap in your left hand. Okay, then lean forward, and we did this already. Dive your shoulder underneath. You can use your hand to push the calf forward, dive your right shoulder under your right leg, and then swing the strap or your left hand up behind you and catch the strap of your hand. Nice, three, that's it. Yeah, good, Ron. You got it, Carol. You're there. Around the leg. Squeeze the leg and the arm together, like self-love. Hug yourself. Love on yourself here. Yeah, and then just lean that top shoulder back a little bit more. Lean your head back a little bit more. Okay, good. Now try to straighten your front leg. Maybe just an inch or two. Maybe all the way. Yes, you might have to like choke up on your leg a little bit to get the leg straighter. Yeah, keep leaning back towards your right leg. Yeah, that's good. Okay, release. And come on up. Yes. Good, you guys. Come on up. Sometimes self-love is hard. In all the ways that it can be. All right, let's go left leg. Shouldn't be that way, but it is. All right, bend your left knee. So we're doing warrior legs. Shoulder dives underneath. Right. So you're holding your strap in your right hand if you're using the strap, just so you can swing it. So maybe you lean forward between your legs to just get in there. That's fine. But then take your tailbone forward, tone your glutes, lean your upper body back, head back, shoulders back. Yes. Nice. Good. Now, try to straighten your left leg any amount. Yeah, if you need to let go of the line, just let it go. It's fine. Yeah, that's good, Susan. Everybody looks good. One more breath. All right, release your hands, your strap, whatever you're holding. Inhale and come on up however you can. Good work, guys. That's it. All right, let's go to the wall. Take your mats to the wall. We're going to do yogi's choice inversion. So I'll say it like this. If you want to stay where you are and do an inversion, hips on a block, legs up, headstand, whatever. If you need a wall, go to the wall. If you're near a wall, give space for those who need to use the wall. Inversion choice, the self-love edit. What does that feel like? What does that look like? How can we express that in this moment? Yeah. Yeah, Sandy, I might just have you move just so we have more wall space. That's all. Are you staying where you are? Yeah. Do you need a spot, Susan, or are you staying where you are? All right, go. Do something. Elbows, handstand, headstand. Yeah. We did headstand. Yeah. Did we do, what did we do? We did elbows, hands, clasp. Okay. So just like that. Yeah, hands are behind your head. Like that. And so here's the thing, when this is a newer thing, you want more weight to be in your arms. Push your arms down and the head should be sort of light up. Or lift up like you're doing dog. So push down, really push down. Yeah. And then you can go one leg up. You want to do like a little hop as you can. There you go, you're right there. Yep, yep, you're right there. Maybe one leg up, so it's already like in the pose. There you go. So hop off the bottom. You got it. That's it. Yeah. Now push into the floor. Stretch your heels up. Yeah. Your weight should be more in your arms. Yeah. Stand, push down. Yeah, just like that. Beautiful. Okay. Does somebody need a hand? Go ahead. Yeah. Oh, okay. Your thing. Thank you. Yeah, do that. Very good. That's it. Yes. I'm gonna let go a little lighter, just a little lighter, just so you can feel yourself holding. That's it. Yeah. Yeah. Good. I'm here. Go.
For your cool down things, yeah, maybe just a child's pose or Uttanasana. All right. Make our way back to our spots. So take your time, unfold slowly. That feel okay, Nina?
Yeah, it was fine. It wasn't like, yeah, it was everything was like.
I mean, eventually you're supposed to have all the weight on your head. I mean, like, you know,
but like,
yeah. I don't know that you need to do that. Like, and especially at first when you're first still feeling wobbly, still feeling whatever, the more just moving that straight.
my ears were.
A little bit. I think if you're changing your proprioception, you know. Okay, stretch your legs out. Or just do Shavasana, that's fine. So people are just like, that's fine. We can do Shavasana. No, we're gonna do, I will lead a couple more things, but if you need a really long Shavasana, you're all gonna do it. Cross your right ankle over. Let's do a little hip. All right, cradle. So hold or scoop or cradle, any of those ways that you do that, like you are just cradling yourself like a precious, like the preciousness that you are. We have that sense of preciousness of babies, and we are, but we are too. We don't get less precious as we get older. We just forget our preciousness. All right, you can lean into the hip if you want to go a little deeper into that hip. Roll on it. Rock, yeah. You want to go on the elbow, you can go on the elbow, yeah. Try to keep your ankle straight. It just keeps the muscles under the knee active. So the knee stays a little more stable, which, as we're doing hip stuff, is usually a good thing to maintain. I know we gotta do this one for like a good couple minutes. It's like a good one. All right, come on up. I mean, I guess I should just say I need to, so you go. I'm cold without a sweater. Do the other side, yeah, exactly. Well, I mean, that is the problem with coming to class while we're on the team of, going to class or doing it at home. It's like, well, you're doing what the teacher wants to work on. Doing my practice. Y'all get to come along for the ride. I mean, not really. I try to keep it varied. I try to touch on all the things, try to look back and say, okay, we've done too many hips lately. Let's do some shoulders, core. All right, I've done too much core. Let's work on the neck a little. We haven't done the feet in a while. Let's work on our feet. All right, come to the side if you did that on the first side. But the reality is there are poses that I definitely like more than others that, are more. Although the funny thing with that is that many of the poses that don't come easily to me are the ones that I have an easier time teaching. The ones that come easy, it's like how the best musicians are the worst teachers. They don't know how they do what they do, they don't know. They're like, just do it. What do you mean you can't do that? Just do that thing, The people who've had to work at it that are the best teachers. So it's like the poses that come easy to me, I have trouble teaching them because you're like, I don't know how to tell you to do that. My body just does it. All right, come on. All right, here's the last self-love squeeze, self-hug pose. All right, I'll show some options. I'm going to put a block here because it may make your life easier to have a block if you don't have the gorilla arm. So I'm holding my foot with my opposite hand. I'm hauling this leg up and over. I know. Everybody laughs and then y'all just do it. Okay, so here's the thing. This is the self-love right here. I'm hugging myself. I'm squeezing. We've done it in like a few ways. And maybe this is just the work today. Trying to get that leg up above the elbow and squeeze it and try to get it to stay there. If you can get it to stay there, hands to the floor,
or to the block. You put your hand on the block. And we're gonna do it with the legs crossed because that's easier to squeeze. We squeeze in, we push down, we lift up. That's it. That's the pose. You want to try to do it with the leg out straight. That's the another version. Okay, so hold your right foot in your left hand. Yep. Get it up over your shoulder. You can lean a little bit to the left to make that happen. Yeah, that's it, John. Up and over. Good. And then right hand onto a block or onto the floor. Squeeze the leg to the arm. Yeah, like that. That's it. You got it, Gina. That's it. Squeeze, 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 squeeze. Yeah, that's it. Then you can take the left leg on top. Nice feet. That's it. You can take the left leg on top. You're going to take your left hand to the floor. I mean, if you could do it holding on with the left hand, that'd be really impressive. Yeah, that's it. That's it. And then try to squeeze your butt up. That's it. Yes. 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 All right. The good news is if you fall, there's really not far to fall. This is elephant trunk. Oh my gosh. Inka Hasta Pujasana. We get the ear. Yeah. It is like, guys, it's infinitely easier with blocks under hand. So if it's hard to just get off the floor, if you've got everything else, put a block under your hand, you know? All right, hold your left foot in your right hand. Lean a little right, hold the pinky edge. So you can lift the foot up and then dive under. Yes, and that's a little bit of core, yeah. So feel like you're rounding your spine, pull your navel in. Remember that squeezing, we did the ab squeezing the block, all of it. Do all those things here, squeeze in, squeeze in, squeeze in. You can take your right ankle on top or you can go right leg out straight. Push it to the floor. Yes, good. That's it. All right. Yeah, both hands on the floor. I know, or on the floor. All right. All right. Soles of the feet together. Very good. No, wrap it around. Yeah. Hinge forward. You know, and here's the thing, you guys. That pose, it's just all the other poses we did, right? And so if you're just, if you're not at that culminating pose yet, and you're still just working on all those prep things, that's fine. The prep things are helping move the body towards stillness, helping us, you know, if we're staying in that mindset of, all right, I'm doing these things with my body, but ultimately my practice is for that stillness. You know? All right, and now come on up. Bend up your right knee. Stretch your left leg out. Twist to the right. Hug your knee. Right hand behind. So bring your awareness to your straight leg for a moment. Just have a sense that your left kneecap is pointing straight up, your toes, your leg is extending and strong, and then keeping that twist a little more to the right. Good. Inhale, release your twist. Keep your leg where it is. Reach inside your leg or your foot. Both hands to the foot. If you can't reach your foot, of course, you can use a strap or you can just hold your ankle. That works too. You can even be hands on the floor. Take a deep breath in. Pull a little with your hands, whatever you're holding, so that your chest comes forward. Pull the head towards your foot and then let your head release towards you. And stay there. Or here's another bind opportunity, another opportunity for self-love and that audacity of belonging, arrogance of belonging, hugging yourself. You can bind around your right leg. Or you can skip that. Mm-hmm. Inhale and come up. Switch your legs. Right leg out. Left in. Twist left. Inhale. Reach inside the knee. So the knee is hugging your outer shoulder, outer left shoulder. And you pull a little with the hands to get the extension for your spine. And maybe to get your left arm to clear the left shin so that then you can wrap your arms around into the bind. Any variation of the pose that helps you to feel connection to self, to the deeper self. Deeper pose helps you do that, do that. Softer pose helps you do that, do that. One more breath. Inhale, come on up.
Come to your back. Shavasana is similar to meditation in that it's just this full giving over of yourself. Giving over the physical body, just letting it go all the ways that we feel like we need to outwardly show up in the world. Just let go of all of that. Let the body come to stillness. Let all the muscles relax, soften, and let go. Meditation. Soften the sense organs, the eyes, the nose, the tongue, ears. Let the body come to stillness. Soften any sense of fidgetiness, the eyelids blinking, the fingers wiggling. The body just become really still and quiet. And let the breath come a little still. Just focus on those pauses at the top and the bottom of the breath. Fullness of your inhale, emptiness of your exhale. Moments of utter stillness. And if the mind is still feeling active, just marry it to the breath. Breath stills, the mind stills. That's not the experience that's happening. You just keep guiding towards that with love, with compassion. Let yourself just be. Finally now, like deep. Notice how even as awareness comes back to your body, you can still sense these moments of stillness, these moments of yoga, the breath, the body, and the thoughts. Find your way to your side, all the way back to seated. To move through the rest of your day out into the world, to the to-do list, and back to the responsibilities. If you can continue to practice this arrogance of belonging. It's not about egotism or self-absorption. It's the force that takes you out of yourself, out of your self-hatred, your self-doubt, your self-judgment, your self-protection, and allows you to engage more fully with the world. So when we have this sense of I am this spiritual being living inside of a body, and we recognize that in others, in nature, in everything. Bring your hands together at your heart. And let's close with an Om together. Take a deep breath. Om. Namaste. Namaste. Thank you, everybody. All right, announcements coming up. Got the next book club is The Frozen River. That meets in January, so start reading. Everybody's read that book with me already. I gotta get it. And we've got pop-up slow stretch. If you want to come back and do some restorative tonight, Gina's doing Monday nights at 6:30. All right.
Bye.
John.
See you next week.